Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, the podcast is set up. I'm waiting for my co-host. I'm trying to see what he has going on. I don't see him available yet. Yeah, I don't see him on the podcast yet. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully he'll be there soon. Barakallahu feekum. How's everyone? Everyone's fasting thus far. So far, so good. Anyone have any questions about anything that's passed? Anything that we've gone through already? Any concerns? Any comments? Any other new people who just started fasting? How has it been? Is it easy? Is it difficult? Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh. This is Juwairia. Inshallah, we'll be able to do it from here. I'm trying to organize it so that we can do it from here, so that we can have the podcast going at the same time. Perhaps I'll call the brother. Let me see if he's okay. Because if not, then we'll proceed with back to the basics. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay. I want to try to give him a couple of minutes, but if not, we'll proceed. I'll put away Bulugh Maram, and we'll continue with back to the basics. This is him now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Akhi, give me 5 minutes, inshallah.
Okay, Meshi.
All right.
Okay, he said 5 minutes. So hopefully that's not too long, and everyone is able to wait until then. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Anyone have any questions or comments or any concerns about anything we've done so far? Is everyone taking notes and studying their notes? Because we're not doing this for a grade. Remember, it's not being done for a grade. We're not trying to necessarily pass the test, but we are trying to accomplish something, and the ultimate test is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we study in order to remove ignorance from ourselves, to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the information that we get, we hope to retain it and apply it to our everyday lives. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Talib. Sa'ad, Umbayyina, Jamal, Juwairiya, Rashad, Rahima, Tiana. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless and preserve you and protect you all. And Tori, of course. So the podcast, we're going to be doing the book Bulugh Maram. Bulugh al-Maram. Right now we're doing the book of fasting. So in reality, a lot of what we're going to be dealing with in the next couple podcasts is going to be stuff that we've already covered. So it's going to be a good review, and it's a way to test your knowledge. Now, I don't want anyone cheating. If we ask questions or something like that, which he probably will, I don't want you going to Google. You can go back to your notes. You can refer back to your notes, but not Google. You don't have to be shy. You don't necessarily have to call in, but it's a good way to test your knowledge and to ask questions and to interact. I don't know if you had a chance to go back and look at the recording, but we took the first two hadith from Kitab as-Siyam, the book of fasting, in Bulugh Maram. And for those of you who are using the English Dar es Salaam print, then I believe that it's the 5th chapter, page 226. I believe that's where it begins, page 226. But you can go to the table of contents, whatever particular version you may be using, whatever print, English, Arabic, English and Arabic, the book of fasting. I want to have mercy on my co-host. He's hard on me, but I'm going to be gentle on him since it's Ramadan. Plus, I know his wife is probably listening. Yeah, that's funny that you say that, Jamal, because some of the guys that used to train, actually when you used to train, and before, they would come by the dojo sometimes and see this newer generation. And they'd be like, Shihan, you got soft, man. Shihan look like you got soft. No, I definitely didn't get soft. It's just the people are so different now. The people are so different now. You have to be gentle with them or they'll run away. That's why I like students and not customers. All right, yeah, this is Aos. I think that's been more than 5 minutes.
Hello?
Assalamu alaikum. I have you on speaker and the whole world is listening. What's the hold up?
Alaikum salam. I'm ready now, inshallah.
Surah.
How are you?
Mesh. So I guess he's coming now. What I'm going to try to do is bring him to Facebook so that we can do it like on both platforms. Okay, here he comes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Were you able to also come to Facebook like we planned? Because we need you on both. Some type of way. Are you on Facebook? All right, come to the live. Okay, once I see you, I'm gonna try to bring you in. All right. Does anyone know exactly how this works? I know they offer you the option, but obviously it's not there right now. Let me see. You see anything that's offering you or allowing you to join? Okay, I tell you what. Hold on one second. I'm gonna move my device away from this other one so I can put everyone on. 1 second.
from I Atlantic 97 gives the salams. Giving the salams right back. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So does anyone has anything else from any scholars that they have sat with, studied with, asked on this issue? Anyone want to jump on the mic and give their 2 cents? So sister says, I'm not sure what's happened. What's going on? What's this? Bayina? Bayina says she don't know what's going on. Did something happen that I'm not aware of?
You talking about on Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was we straightened it out. The sound. There was an issue with the sound, but we got it straight. So basically, what's happening right now is we moved ahead to the next hadith in Bulugh Maram, and it's talking about the sighting of the moon. And like I said, we already covered these issues, so it will be a review. And you'll be able to test your knowledge. It will be like a review, and you can likewise check your knowledge. So you haven't really missed nothing. It was a problem with the sound, but we straightened it out. So inshallah, you will be fine where you are.
Inshallah. So Najee, what have you come by as far as the opinions of the scholars in this issue?
Well, as far as my opinion, I believe that the scholars differ on this issue. I believe that they differ.
The temporary scholars.
Okay, well, the scholars from the past.
No, I mean, we know that. Yeah, we know the scholars from the past are different. I'm talking about, have you heard anything from the temporary scholars where they say other than the local sighting? Because I haven't heard that, and that's what I was saying.
No, I haven't actually heard anything about the contemporary scholars because it hasn't really been much of an issue for me. So it hasn't been something that I've, had the privilege to be privy to. I haven't sat in on any of those discussions, nor have I seen or read anything relating to it. Not lately. We go back to, for us, or for some of us, we go back to what the Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, about the signing of the moon by it being one who is mukallaf and one who is adil. One who has been commissioned and one who is just. The upright person who's upright, he's honest, and he's of age. He's mature, he's sane. If anyone comes to you and say that they saw the moon, then you should fast, and one sighting is sufficient.
Okay, now this goes into the difference of opinion amongst the scholars when it comes to the sighting of the moon from an aspect of the person who sights the moon, right? Is a person that sights the moon, is that considered a shahada or not?
Of course, because we have to take the statement we have to take of course. We take the statement of Ibn Umar, radiallahu anhuma, when he said, I informed the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that I saw the moon, so he fasted and he ordered the people to fast. Predicated on that one narration, that one sighting.
But that's ikhbar. It could be considered ikhbar, and that's what some of the scholars say. That this is ikhbar.
Okay.
Right? You're just informing. You're giving information. Oh, because the condition then will differ. No, a shahada, the condition for shahada differs from the condition for ikhbar. So some of the scholars, for example, that's why some of the scholars say that, you can take the sighting of one woman. Why can you take the sighting of one woman? Because it's ikhbar. It's not shahada. In Shahada, you need how many women? 2.
4.
For women to attest to something, you need 2 women.
Oh, to make one man, to equal one man.
Yeah.
No.
So this is also an interesting issue in which the scholars they delve into and debate about.
I think that it's an interesting issue, no doubt. I think that it's being overcomplicated by people who want to follow their desires. Unfortunately, because many people who take this position, they don't have the knowledge, the ability, the capability to go out and sight the moon. They don't even know what to look for. And they don't even understand the issue of overcast. If the sky is overcast or cloudy or dust, so on and so forth. So I think that if you were dealing with people who understood the science, who understood the science of sighting the moon, then that would be okay. But not just for any individual to go out and think that he can go out and sight the moon or attempt to sight the moon and that be sufficient. Especially after it's known that there are people from other countries who have sighted the moon and who have already begun to fast.
I mean, people from other countries sighting the moon doesn't really make an impact on the individual who takes the opinion of local sighting.
Okay, well,
right. I mean, you can sight as much people can sight the moon as possible.
That's his view. That's his opinion, and he has a right to, because he has someone who preceded him. Likewise, so do the other people. It's
No
not
doubt.
wajib to take the local sighting, nor is it wajib to take the global sighting. The issue comes.
Okay, man. What do you mean by that now?
The issue comes when you have people in one locality, because that's who it impacts the most. People in one locality, family, friends, close friends, relatives who live in the same locality, but maybe different parts of town. West side, east side, north side, south side, like us in Cleveland. And you have so many masajid. And you have people sometimes the Eid, the Salatul Eid, you may have Salatul Eid 3 days. 3 days. With 3 groups of people, at least 3 groups of people fasting on, breaking their fast and having Eid prayer on 3 different days.
3 different days. No.
That's a musibah.
Yes, it is. And this is an issue that we have here in America due to people not being able to unite upon, a common kalima and things like that. Whether it be just or not, meaning that, the reason for their separation is valid or not. And because of this, it's just going to be like that. We're going to always have the separation that we do. And, it's sad because we think that something like Ramadan, we could all agree on something just to unite the Muslims, at least upon this act of ibadah, if nothing else, and we can't get that. Allah Ustaadh.
Allah help us.
Anyone want to comment on the issue? Okay, well, I guess we could end here then, inshallah ta'ala.
You don't have anybody chiming in?
Yeah, nobody chiming in and stuff.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. So I guess that means we'll resume.
All right, so
next Monday.
next
right?
Monday, inshallah.
Okay, I'm going to return back to the Facebook Live just to make sure everybody is okay and that they understand what took place. Bismillah ta'ala. So I'll meet you there.
Okay, then, inshallah. If Fatima wants to continue with the basics and stuff like that,
That's good. So do
So,
I.
I mean, I guess, yeah. All right, then I'll see you guys later then, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Okay, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Did everyone see or hear what took place? I think I figured out what we need to do now to merge the podcast with the live, which is only happening 2 days a week, Monday and Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday. And what's going to happen is that we're going to continue with Bulugh Maram, and we're going to do the whole book, inshallah. We're going to do the whole book, inshallah. So, because it's Ramadan, we thought we would go with the book of fasting. Okay. Now, okay, Labiba, what don't you know? When you say no, what do you mean no? What didn't you see or what didn't you hear? Yes, we can. We can continue with the basic. It's 10 o'clock. Yeah, that was a mistake on our end. So does anyone have any questions or comments or anything like that? Oh, okay. Is this your first time coming? Have you been here before, Labiba? Okay, like I said, basically, we're going to, through Bulugh al-Maram, Kitab al-Siyam, the book of fasting in Bulugh al-Maram. We've already covered that. Here in the basics, back to the basics, we've covered that already. So we're done with that. But because it just so happened to fall, that particular chapter, it coincided with the podcast. It's more or less, like I said, for you, it would be like a review. It would be like a review for those of you who have already been in this class. A way to test your knowledge. And the podcast, as you know, podcasts are interactive. You know, you can learn and you can join in the discussion. We can offer you a mic. You can come in, you can speak. You can ask your questions live or voice your opinions. So it's something that the brother Hanif and myself have decided to do, you know, and hopefully it's something that'll take off. So we're just trying it out right now. You know how it is. Quarantine, we're all trying to find something to do to keep ourselves busy. So instead of going on TikTok and making ridiculous videos, we decided to do some talibul ilm. Podcasts can be kind of fun too, when you see us have those little differences of opinion. And that's good. It's healthy. It's healthy as long as you have a good spirit and good intentions. And you're not trying to harm your brother, but you're trying to benefit your brother and benefit yourself, most importantly, because the scholars differ. the companions, they used to differ. They used to take different positions as it related to fiqh, predicated on what came to them and how. You know, those who came from Mecca, those who were in Medina, places in between. Wa alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Ali, how's my brother? So at the end of the day, we're trying to get to the sawab. We're trying to get to that which is correct. And sometimes along the way, we have differences. And that's good, especially with the issue of moon sighting, because that's what the podcast was about today, the issue of moon sighting. And the fact that we have people who want to go with the local sighting and people who want to go with the global sighting. And it's an issue, no doubt. And people differ as it relates to this issue. That there are differences of opinion as it relates to this issue. And they all go back to something that's established in the Sunnah. So if a person wants to go with the global sighting, then he has a choice to. Likewise, the one who wants to go with the local sighting, then he has a choice to. But he should make sure he's one who understands the science, and he's not out there fooling himself and others and people taking him as a reliable source and building upon his attempts. So if we take the hadith of Ibn Umar, radiallahu ta'ala anhuma, where we see him saying that he saw, or that the people were out looking for the hilal. They were looking for the new moon. He saw it, and he informed the Prophet ﷺ that he saw it. And the Prophet ﷺ began to fast, and he informed the other people to fast, predicated on that one witness. And so many other reports, and there's some fiqh connected to it. It's expansive, no doubt. And he mentioned those who say that there's only one moon, which is the opinion that I tend to favor, that if it's known that there are people around the world, wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh Michael. If there are people around the world fasting around the world, and it's been established that they've seen the moon, that they've sighted the moon, then we want to oppose them and go out and look for the moon ourselves. If you take that position, then okay. But the problem comes in, when did this opinion change, especially in our city? What opinion changed? What opinion are you talking about? I don't know what's up with Facebook Live. Sometimes they allow you to bring other people in, and sometimes they don't. Like yesterday, it just kept telling, bring this person in, bring that person in order to share the mic. But now they're not allowing it. Let me check my messages. I'm sorry if anyone tried to text me, because we do take text messages as well. Going with the global side, and you're still not making yourself clear. You said, when did this opinion change? What opinion? Yes. Okay, I'm doing a class right now. I'm still waiting for you to clarify yourself. Okay, I see your text coming through. As you remember, years ago, we were all on the same page. All of the Massachusetts used to start and stop during the same day. I guess that's supposed to be, I don't know if that's all of the Muslims or all of the Massachusetts. Say Massachusetts, but it has to be Muslims or Massachusetts. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, we're not going to hold anyone. We're not going to hold anyone. And we're going to continue with our class tomorrow. Right now, we're just having a discussion. The Muslim, well, you find it happening where it just so happens that even the people who go with astronomical astronomy, you can just so happen tomorrow at around 9:20. Every day is getting a little later, so we're going to say 9:20, 9:25. That's what time the classes begin. So you'll find that sometimes they actually fall on the right day. They may fall on the right day. You may find one of those calendars that say Ramadan begins this day, the Eid is this day, and it just so happens that it falls on that day. Doesn't mean anything. We still only start and stop when the moon is sighted. As far as everyone being on the same page, the same thing could happen. The local sighting can coincide with the global sighting. But you have people who make it their business. It's a part of their belief to oppose people in other countries, especially Saudi Arabia. The evil people, the people of fitna, the misguided, deviant people who love innovation and love the people of innovation, and the people who rebel. They love rebellion. You know, and the Rafida, of course, the Shiite people. They want to oppose Saudi Arabia in everything. Everything. Forgetting that this is where the Quran came down. And Medina is the place of Hijrah. It's the place where the Dajjal won't enter. And this is the death place of the Prophet ﷺ. And this is where his grave is. And his companions. And this is the place that wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. They're not infallible. We're not saying that they're infallible. So this is not for us to, I'm not here trying to defend Saudi Arabia even when they make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone. You get it right, you get it wrong. But they're making an honest attempt. But remember what I said. I said people from other countries outside of America, people in that region, people who are able to see the moon hours before we are. Hours before we are. 8, 10, 11 hours before we are. People who start fasting, not just Saudi Arabia. But what I'm saying is the enemies of Islam, the enemies of the Sunnah, you find them coming together upon their hatred for Saudi Arabia and the people in Saudi Arabia. Even though you have to separate the good from the bad everywhere you go. You separate religion from politics, unfortunately, but it happens. That there are people who are liberal, secular people. And then you have the ulama, the scholars, the people of Quran and Sunnah. These people, so they make it about Saudi Arabia. If Saudi Arabia say we start fasting today, they say no, we fast tomorrow. Whether they saw the moon or not. And you have a lot of unqualified people making this assessment. And that's a problem. So if a person wants to go with the local sighting, It's sunnah. But it should be someone who's qualified to go out and sight the moon, who knows what they're doing. Someone who knows what they're doing. But if the moon has been sighted and there are people around the world fasting, then we shouldn't oppose them just because we don't like them or we don't like their politics. It's about deen. This is a matter of deen. So look to who you take your deen from. So that's basically what the podcast discussion was about today. Stuff that we covered. And like I said, when we cover things here, we're simply just scratching the surface. We're just trying to familiarize ourselves with the basic tenets of our faith so that we can understand our religion and worship Allah with insight, so that we understand the pillars of Islam. And we have an understanding of Tawheed and that which opposes it, Shirk, Sunnah, and that which opposes it, Bid'ah. Fiqh, how do we purify ourselves? How do we pray? How do we worship our Lord? The things that are important. Too many people on the ground level worrying about things that really don't concern them. You're not going to walk into any hospital telling the staff that you saw a YouTube video on heart transplants and think that they're going to give you a robe, a gown, and let you go into surgery. That's not going to happen. That's never going to happen. So why do we think that we can do that with deen? Why do we think that we can do that with deen? Let's be realistic. We're not taking this deen serious at all. We're playing around with it. We're playing around with this deen because everyone wants a voice. Everyone wants an opinion, whether or not they deserve one. Go back to the basics. Let's stay in our lane. Let's do what we're capable of doing, worshiping Allah. We're capable of worshiping Allah. We're capable of understanding who Allah is and who He isn't. His essence and what it isn't. His names and His attributes and what they entail. How to purify ourselves. What books to read, what books to avoid. What came down from the heavens and what didn't. How we can better ourselves, exactly, reading Quran. How we can better ourselves. How can we save ourselves and our families from the hellfire? All of these things. We have the ability to do these things, and that's what we need to be focusing on. Not foreign politics and all of that kind of stuff, and, who's ruling by what Allah revealed and who isn't. All of that kind of stuff. What the people are doing with their money, who cares? Who cares what rich people in other parts of the world are doing with their money? It has nothing to do with us. Whether it be a prince in Saudi Arabia or whether it be Floyd Mayweather, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Cardi B, whoever. Who cares? What's important to us is us, ourselves, our family. That's what's important to us. That's what we should be focusing on. Not the sins or misgivings of others. When we see Muslims going astray, whoever they may be, we make dua for them. If we have the ability to advise them, then we advise them. If we don't, we make dua for them. And we keep their honor. We don't eat their flesh. We don't slander them or expose their sins unless it directly affects us in our families, in our communities. So hopefully, inshallah, I believe that the Ummah began fasting on the same day. Hopefully we end on the same day and we can have a big united worldwide Eid. Because like I said, this affects the people in their local communities more than anything else. You live in big cities where you have masajid, many different mosques, on the east side, on the west side, the north side, and the south side. And everyone wants to have Salatul Eid on the same day. Different days when it should be on the same day. Everyone wants to pray Eid different days. That's going to be a problem because the families are not going to come together. It's going to be difficult trying to take off work. A man wants to spend time with his family, with his mother, with his siblings. And it's not possible. Why? Because the people in positions of leadership are following their desires. They don't want to relinquish power. They don't want to bring in the people with knowledge and experience in the field of knowledge. No, they want to keep doing the things that they want to do because they feel like if they don't, they're going to lose their edge, that the people are not going to respect them or obey them for whatever reason. So when we get to these chapters, we're going to get into these issues too, as far as the Eid prayer, how it should be done, where it should be done, and hopefully these things will help us along the way. And hopefully this stuff will have an impact on people who don't want to be impacted. I'm sure people are watching videos like this or other videos from people who they despise for whatever reason. You know, they watch, they learn, they take notes. They won't let you know it though. But hopefully it touches someone and it makes us reflect and think about the condition of our people, our communities, our masajid, the brothers and sisters who come, their families and children. That's what's important. Forget about us and our egos and the things that we harbor inside. We're going to have to answer for that on the day of judgment. We have to be real and understand what true leadership means. And understand this religion so that we can practice it. And when we teach it, we understand what we're teaching. And we stay in our lane. So inshallah, we'll resume tomorrow. Now, when you say Ahlul Bayt, what do you mean by Ahlul Bayt? I meant to ask that before. Please forgive me if it was pertinent. All right, inshallah, we'll talk tomorrow. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.